Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on PS5. We're back in career mode and tonight it's round 19. We're heading to Texas, to the Circuit of the Americas for the American Grand Prix. So then, here we go. Start of the final week of Season 2. We have 5 days to go, 5 races. Tonight we have COTA, and then over the rest of the week we will be finishing off this season. After here we'll be going to Mexico, then Brazil Wednesday, Las Vegas on Thursday, and rounding out the season on Friday with Abu Dhabi. So it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. It's getting close to finding out which one of our drivers is going to win the Drivers' Championship. We have won the Constructors' Championship. It is now mathematically impossible for anyone to beat us, I think. And there you see the difference between our two drivers is just 3 points with 5 rounds to go. 2 of which are sprints, back-to-back sprints, actually. No, not back-to-back sprints. Tonight's a sprint, Mexico's a normal race, Brazil is a sprint, and then Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi are both normal races as well. So still a ton of points available. And as I say, just 3 between Russell and Hamilton. Very, very close. Although Russell does have the edge of having more victories than Lewis. So if they do end up tied, then Russell is almost certainly going to win on countback of number of wins, because I don't think Lewis will be able to pull it back enough. We shall see. Let's have a quick look at where our car sits going into this Grand Prix. Oops, no, that's the wrong thing. There we go, car analysis. So, first in speed, 9th in acceleration, first in DRS. Our dirty air tolerance has taken a little bit of a hit compared to the rest of the grid. We're now 10th. Our cornering, 4th, 3rd and 3rd. That's pretty strong. Not as strong as it has been, or could be, but as I say, we've reached the point where we cannot develop this car any further. We have no more upgrades coming. We can't even begin an upgrade because we breached the cost cap. So we're stuck with what we've got, basically. And if we run out of parts as well, then the only way we can replace those is with emergency manufacturing or dropping to an older spec. Again, because we've breached the cost cap. So we are going to be going through the kind of spare parts that we've got left, I think, rather than inflicting yet more financial misery on the accountants. Let's have a quick look at Max's car. So you can see we've actually got a quicker car in terms of top speed, although they have much better acceleration than us. And they do have the edge in the medium and high speed cornering and dirty air as well, although we do have an edge in low speed. In real terms, let's see, it's not that much of a huge difference in speed, 0.2 kilometers an hour. They've got about, what, 0.05 G in acceleration over us. That's actually a fair bit. Very close in the low speed, and again, very close in the cornering as well. You know, we are definitely lacking a little bit in the high speed. There aren't too many high speed corners here though, so I don't think that's going to hurt us too much. We might struggle in the first sector, we shall see. Let's also take a look at Ferrari. And they have kind of come back a little bit, you know, in the last couple of races. You can see their speed, they're 5th and 5th in acceleration, 1st in the low speed. That'll help them in the end section of the track. There are a fair few low speed corners that'll help them with, but pretty average elsewhere. We'll also take a look at Alpine, and their downforce is pretty strong. A little lacking in the speed and acceleration, but good downforce levels. We could see Ocon getting himself a good run again. And finally, let's check out Aston, and well, yeah, they're worse than Alpine in terms of speed, and they're terrible in acceleration, but again, pretty strong in the downforce, so they could possibly be a bit of a dark horse. We'll see. Right, we need to set some objectives for tonight. So, given where our car sits and that we're running on spare parts now, we're going to be starting to be a little bit more conservative with these objectives, I think. Let's see, the incentive is 2 in the top 4. I'm not 100% certain we can get that. Hopefully we can. Finish position 2 in the top 4, again that's the incentive. We should be able to get the fastest lap. And let's do a new quali streak, and we'll make it a conservative one because our car's only going to get slower. We've got 5 races left, so just to make sure that we do actually achieve some financial compensation out of that, we're going to go 2 in the top 8. Because while we're probably quick enough for 2 in the top 4, maybe even top 3 right now, in 5 races time, yeah, maybe not. So yeah, 2 in the top 8 is a nice conservative. Hopefully we'll get 2.5 mil at the end of it. Right, there we go. We do have a bit of rain on the Saturday as well. Now that could be for practice or the sprint or both. Be interesting to see if we do get a wet sprint. I don't think we've had a wet sprint this season. Right, let's head to COTA.
Welcome to the United States Grand Prix. We're in Austin, but there are no wild cowboys on the track this weekend, just some serious horsepower. It's sure to be a race to remember. The track in Austin is a contradiction. It's high speed, but drivers need a decent amount of downforce to make good on overtaking. Having the grip to outbrake opponents here is key.
This time, teams have 2 races to contend with, as a sprint race will decide the starting order for the weekend's Grand Prix.
So, without further ado, let's get started.
Evening Baron, evening Horrific, evening Farah. Good to see you guys. My weekend was okay, thank you for asking, although I did sleep through most of Sunday. Just feeling really tired. So, yeah, I spent a lot of Sunday asleep. Let's see. It's Lewis's final season with the team, so we're going to take him out for Teo. You can see that patch 1.8 has dropped, by the way. It dropped today. So you can see we're actually able to see that change of drivers without having to go into a sub menu now. A couple of other things have changed as well. Qualifying is definitely been improved. You'll see what I mean by that as we get into qualifying. We want soft tyres on this car for Q1. Oh no, wait, this is practice 1, isn't it? Ah, yes. This is a sprint weekend, so no Teo. Sorry, Teo. We'll go medium tyres. Or do I want to go softs? No, we'll go mediums. We'll go mediums for the first session. There we go. Right, COTA is 16 laps for a run. There we go. Car parts next. We're going to take out the good stuff and pop in the not so good stuff. And we'll go with that gearbox as well. There we go. And let's put a setup on George's car. So I've got 4 in the book. So we'll go with number 3. Let's go 8, 13, 19, 3.5 and a 0.55. There we go. So that's George's car taken care of. Let's work on Lewis's car now. So engine swap, we'll go with 28% engine. And we'll pop in the 13% and the 20% gearbox. There we go. And now we need a setup for this car. And let's go slightly different. So we'll go 8, 12.5, 19, 3.5, and a 0.7. There we go. Right, let's send them to the track. So, one of the things that we do have is new mugshots for the drivers, updated 2023 headshots. Not for every driver, at least I don't think for every driver, but definitely for some. I think others have just been airbrushed a little bit, or had the lighting balance changed on them. Lewis looks a little bit darker than he did before the patch. George's lighting looks a little bit different. They have updated some of the driver photos. We've got a much better photo for Fernando. Albon has got his blonde hair, although they haven't updated his in-game model, so he still has the dark hair in that. Logan Sargent's photo looks a lot better. Piastri's lighting is better because it's a more up-to-date photo. Bottas has got his mustache and mullet, and a few other drivers have changed. None of the junior drivers have had updated headshots. It's just the F1 grid itself, and I don't think everyone has had an updated shot. Perez has definitely had an updated shot. He's got different hair, but I think it might still be the same Max headshot. I think it's still the same Carlos headshot. I'm not sure about Charles Leclerc. Norris looks weird in his headshot. I'll show you the headshots afterwards if I remember. I forgot to do it earlier. But if I remember at the end of the night, I'll show you the headshots of some of the other drivers.
Hey, Phil.
Right, we've got a 94 for George. We'll call him in.
Lucy, if you can give us a balance check.
And we've got a
That's okay.
74 for Lewis. That's not good at all. Right, what do we need to change? Okay. Let's go 8.5. 131935 and a 0.45. This is also a 100% setup, so we'll try that. And we're going to need to change quite a bit on Lewis's car, so let's put him on a 13 rear wing. Okay, I'm going to have a look at last year's book. Okay, I'm going to try something here. Let's move to a 9.5, a 2.8, a 3.25, and a 0.05. No, that's not going to work. I can see that's not going to work straight away. Okay. In that case, I'm going to have to wing it. So let's reset and start again. I don't have anything that's close, by the look of it, that's going to fit the situation we have here. So I will up that to an 8.5. I will change that to a 13. Actually, if I go to an 8, that's 13. Let's push this all the way back to a 0.25. If I go to an 8.5, actually, yeah, we will go to an 8.5. Let's pull this back in a little bit. Let's try that and see how we do with that. Right, there we go. Got them back out on track again.
Surface temps are low all round.
Are you happy with tyre temps?
So you're feeling it for George tonight, are you, Farah? Right, getting close to feedback.
Parking standards okay, right?
We've got a 90 for Lewis, so definite improvement, but still a little bit more to find. Aaron says he thinks George is going to win. He's calling it now. Farah's being optimistically pessimistic. And not at all contradictory.
Balance check.
Ooh, that's close. 98%. Excellent stuff. Alright. Let's call him in. Right, so this is going to be a 2.8. Okay. So we need to dial this back a bit. Go to a 7.5 on the wing. Push that back to there. Pull that back like that. It might be too much on the rear wing actually. Let's just pull that to an 8. Pull that to a 3.45. Alright, let's try that. Right, so I need 2 clicks. So it can't be that way. So it has to be that way. One minor change you can see on the run plan, it's now not giving me a precise amount of time, it's just, you know, got the around, as opposed to it'll take you 4.624 seconds to put this amount of fuel in. Now it's just, it'll take as long as it takes, kind of thing. Heinz baked bean chocolate. Oh dear, that sounds. Ugh. I mean, I know it's just going to be a flavour, but well, at least I hope it's a flavour and not actual baked beans with chocolate on them, because that would be disgusting. So obviously we're not going to get full feedback here, but we should get, hopefully, a pointer in the right direction as to whether these changes are correct.
So you've taken the flag.
Evening, Leo. All right, penalties are plenty. Got a penalty for Verstappen, for Albon, for Ocon, for Bottas. Anyone else? No, just those 4. But is that a new engine for Max? Please don't be a new engine for Max. It's not. It's a new ERS, but that engine is looking pretty warm, which means he's probably going to get a new engine before the end of the season. Max is going to be up there, threatening in the race wins in the final couple of races, that's for sure. Right, it's time for sprint quali. We're going in kind of on the back foot. We're not 100% certain where we are with these setups.
It's time to determine starting positions for the sprint race, here in qualifying.
As usual, drivers have 3 parts to qualify for their grid position. Unlike a regular qualifying, however, today will set the grid for the upcoming sprint.
In terms of George Russell and his form, Karun, how's he going to be feeling, do you imagine?
Well, if you look at them side by side against their teammate, there's not that much in it. And that'll keep the friendly competition alive, I'm sure.
Here we go, folks. It's time to get started.
All right. Evening, Mr. Water. How are you tonight? So we've got to strip out these practice parts, put the good stuff back in. I am going to save the good engine for Mexico. This is just quali. And given that George's ERS is running a bit low, I'm going to run this ERS just for quali. And then we'll replace it for the race. Let's go with that gearbox. We'll go with the 78% engine for Lewis. We'll go with that ERS for quali, and then swap it for the race, and we'll go with that gearbox there. We've still got that one there ready and waiting. Right, we're going to do just the 1 lap, and hopefully this will... Oh, let's have a quick look. Partial feedback, it's looking good. That's looking potentially very good. I'm going to just screenshot it just in case so I can add it to the book if it's sorted. And let's have a look at Lewis. That's looking good so far as well. Again, I'm going to screenshot it so I can add it later if necessary. And let's go qualify. Quite a few cars popping out.
This is outlap normal. Focus on the brakes a bit.
Okay.
Right. You'll get to see the change in qualifying that I was talking about. So let me just quickly run through patch 1.8, which has gone live. So in terms of race sim changes, fix the AI using the same tyre compound for the entire race after red flag in sprints. Fix the AI using the same tyre compound for the entire race after saving on the pre-race screen. So if you now, you shouldn't theoretically now see using Bahrain as the most obvious example, because that's the most that was the most prolific example. You shouldn't see drivers going soft, soft, soft all the way through. Improve the level of impact of rubber on track across sessions. Haven't really had much of a chance to see how that has impacted the game, but theoretically we should see track rubber having a better effect on lap times, theoretically. Reduce the chances of car-on-car collisions during practice and qualifying, and slightly increase the chances of spins and running wide during qualifying. So I like that. The other big change for qualifying is improvements made to traffic in qualifying causing issues for cars on flying laps. In other words, your cars on an in-lap or an out-lap will dive out of the way, and I do mean dive out of the way now. You'll see that if we come up against someone. I think everyone in front of us is on an out-lap. Sorry, is on a fast lap with us. But we will be getting caught potentially by other cars on our way back to the garage. That Red Bull, for example, might catch us, I'm not sure. Lewis is purple in the first, but he is tucked in close to a Ferrari, so he might have got a little bit of a slipstream, especially down that back straight. He's purple in the middle. Oh, have they fixed? No, they haven't. I was wondering, have they fixed the... Well, maybe. It's not as obvious.
Just keep an eye on that delta. So just
Lewis goes top with a 134 or 132.4.
Understood.
I think they have fixed it actually, or at least improved it. There's still a little bit of a glare,
So
as you can see, but
delta negative.
ooh, way off for George.
Box end of this lap. Copy.
It might just be the position of the sun in this particular session. We'll keep an eye on that over the race weekend, see if that's been fixed. Let's see, other changes. Fixed cars slowing down in Singapore Sector 3. So that's the new straight in the third sector where they took out the two chicanes. And cars will just coast for about 2/3 of the way, for the final 2/3 of that straight. That has now apparently been fixed. Not had the chance to try that yet, but I might do a Singapore race replay later and check that out. Fixed improvements made to drivers avoiding crashed and stationary cars on tracks. So hopefully we should see a few less awkward traffic jams, just where a car just stops and blocks traffic. We'll see. An interesting other change for qualifying: ensure that the Q3 soft tyre is unlocked for all drivers, including those that didn't make Q3. So normally you would only get that extra set if you got through to Q3, and then if you got to the race you would have that extra set available for the race, whereas if you didn't get to Q3, that set would not be available to you for the race. It will now be. So if you've only got 3 sets going into quali and you use 2 of them, and you only get into Q2, you've only got 1 brand new set of tyres left. On the old patch. On the new version, you have 2 brand new sets, because you'll get that Q3 tyre added into your allocation for the race, which is nice. That's kind of cool. Fixed an issue where optimal pit lap dilemma would sometimes not pause the race. So that's when you get the message saying, this is your scheduled lap to pit. Sometimes that wouldn't pop a pause to give you the chance to, okay, go to my pit options, blah, blah, blah. And it would just keep going. So that has supposedly been fixed. Fixed an issue where flying lap count set sometimes was not followed in the session. So I think that's a case of, you will have seen me do that a lot in this career mode, where I wanted to do 2 laps in the first session, then 2 laps in the second session, but I would always go up to 3 and then back down to 2, or down to 1 and then back up to 2 in between sessions, because if you just carried on, it wouldn't copy the second, flying lap. It would say 2 flying laps, but you would only do 1 and then you would box. So I'm guessing that's what's been fixed. I've not actually tested that yet. What else? Updated saves. The race calendar updated Monza to become an ATA qualifying weekend, but that's only on new saves. I don't know if that's replacing Imola or as well as Imola. Obviously, in real life, Imola was supposed to be the first of the 2 ATA weekends, and then Hungary the second. And of course, we didn't have Imola this year because of the flood. So Monza became the second ATA after Hungary, as a chance to stick that in there. So I'm not sure whether that's going to be replacing Imola or as well as Imola. It might be a third one. I'll have to check that one. Team switching fixed an issue where board confidence could show as disappointing after joining a new team. That's good, because we're about to join a new team, so it's nice that they've fixed that for us. Corrected body text of new team email when switching teams. Team management rebalanced research and design slider expertise gains. Fixed total cost of hiring calculating incorrectly when hiring replacement driver or staff for the next season. Fixed car building attribute having inverse effect. Fixed hired F2 and F3 drivers from still appearing in the F2, F3 standings. Pit crew and pit stops. Fixed an exploit that allows pit crew to remain at 100% fatigue between races with no penalty. Adjusted pit crew XP gain and degradation rates. Fixed first day of the month not counting towards stat degradation. And increased variation of AI pit stop time. So we should see a bit more fluctuation in teams having fast stops again and slow stops maybe. Fixed an issue where the total pit stop time did not match the sum of actions in the pit stop breakdown. So we've seen that where we've had 8.5 second pit stops and they've only counted as 7.5 at the end. Animations, they've fixed Charles's patchy hair in cinematics, so when you would see him on the podium and his hair would glitch out a bit, they fixed that finally. Fixed garage scene showing member of the pit crew wearing the driver's helmet. Fixed clipping in Marina Bay intro cinematic, and fixed clipping in garage shots. For presentation, they've updated the F1 driver photos. Fixed the projected cost cap UI not updating correctly. We'll be able to check that later and see whether or not it's showing us at a negative on our cost cap now. Fixed issue where scrolling scouting menus with the controller was unpredictable after highlighting the bookmark column. Yes, I have noticed that. So that'd be nice to see that fixed. Fixed code string appearing in next season's staff tooltip. I'm guessing it's a PC issue. Fixed race winner appearing on event view in practice and qualifying. Fixed replaced driver being displayed next to renewal after changing driver position during contract renewal. Fixed seasons as team principal, not updating on the profile page. Fixed panel borders appearing incorrectly when laps to go notification appears. Updated run plan descriptions to clarify that outlaps are counted in the run plan. Fixed email reading 0 days to go after renewing contract on the last day of the year. Fixed issue where times set by drivers in Q2 and Q3 was sometimes not visible until hovered over after simulating the session. Updated chevrons on tyre state when overheating to more accurately reflect impact on wear rate. Okay. Game stability, they've fixed a crash that could occur when designing new suspension, then highlighting brake cooling. Fixed progression blocker when hiring a reserve driver at the end of the season. Fixed a soft lock that could occur when repeatedly pressing R2 or the right trigger controller buttons during the end of season fanfares. Fixed a soft lock that could occur after pressing new career with existing save games present. I've not seen that one before. Fixed progression blocker that could occur when designing a car park during the tutorial. Game will now pause when Steam overlay is open during a race. So obviously that one's a PC issue as well. And then there's still stuff being worked on as well. So quite a raft of little changes, little improvements that have been dropped in there for us. And now I've just got to wait for my chat to catch up because I've gone back onto YouTube on my phone. Right now I don't actually have any live chat showing. There we go, it's back. And we'll skip time forward. Russell is going to be safe, I think. Mercedes engine sounds a little different too. Yeah, I noticed it sounded a little different. Alright, there we go. We are through with both drivers without any real issue. And we got both drivers to 100%. That is fantastic. So I can add those in later. Let's go to compounds and select the same tyres. They do wear out quickly here. I'm going to send my drivers out straight away. Send George out first. Wait a few seconds and then send out Lewis. There we go. And let's hope that we actually get a car in the way. Here we go. We're going to get some cars in the way. So you'll see them diving out of the way.
So we've got clear track now. So you're good to go.
And they do literally dive out of the way. They pull right out of the way and they slow to an absolute crawl, which is kind of realistic in some respects. I mean, in terms of the speed, anyway. It is something you'll have to be wary of if you're on a 2-lap run. You might have to increase the amount of time that you factor in before you send them out. Because if you get traffic and you have to keep pulling over, you're going to add quite a lot of time to your cooldown lap or your app lap. So, coming up on Schumacher. Let's highlight Schumacher so you can see what I mean. Just comes to a complete stop almost. In some cases it does look a little extreme, in other cases it actually looks about right. I have done a couple of practice races this morning, this afternoon, with a couple of other teams just to try out the qualifying and see how it worked. And so far I haven't been noticeably held up. I'm sure it's not going to be perfect. I'm sure there will be instances where we do get held up, but it all seemed to run pretty smoothly. So there we go. George is second, but much closer this time. See, he was a long way up. There we see, just getting out of the way of Schumacher there. Hamilton's already through. Aston is also on an in lap. We missed it with Max. I think there's someone coming up behind him. Hulkenberg, I think. Yeah, so Hulkenberg's on an out lap as well. Is there anyone who is on an in lap that we can have a look at? Let's see. Schumacher's on an in lap. We've got Leclerc on a fast lap. Let's see, that Williams is on an in lap, so we might see the Williams. Oh no, the Williams is going to hit the pits first. No, that's Sonoda, so it's a different Williams. Yeah. You wonder if all the teams will have their own distinct engine sounds. They're supposed to. This is the Ferrari. That's the Williams. The Red Bull. That's the Ferrari-powered Haas. And McLaren. And we have got some traffic to show you. Some cars that will dive out of the way. So it does look as though it's not flawless. That did look as though Max definitely got held up a little bit, but then it's in the middle of the corner. They all sounded similar before the update. I mean, they still do sound similar, but there are some subtle differences. It's not the case of every single team has its own unique sound. Some of them don't, some of them do. But it's nice to hear a little bit of variation. Alright, so who's at risk? Let's see. Both of the Williams. It's a bit of a surprise to see them both struggling like that. Tsunoda's in the box. He's not improved. So is Albon. He's in the box. I don't know if there's anyone actually still on a flying lap. Perez is on a flying lap and Piastri is. That's it. Piastri's not getting through. Guarantee you that. But he did get through ahead of Norris. Let's see what can Perez do. He pretty much stays where he was. Alright, we are into the final session. Once again, we're going to go just a single lap. Actually, no. We're going to go 2 laps on new tyres. There we go. So we're going to go out with about 7 minutes to go, I think. Just going to add that little bit extra time again, just in case we get caught with traffic and have to pull out and slow to a stop, almost. I've got a little window of time here to get the cars out.
just focus on the outlap. Okay.
Yeah, that looks to me as though they haven't really fixed the perspex thing. It's just the sun position is not quite as bad, or the light source is not quite as bad at this particular track. Bit of a shame. Hoping that they would have fixed that. So Alonso has set the benchmark with a 1:32.8, ahead of both of the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. Let's see what we can do. This first lap is probably just going to be able to give us... Hey, it might be good enough for front row. It's all about building the confidence on this lap to then really attack on the second lap.
Should be all clear. Good to go.
We're going to have a clear run on this lap as well. No traffic, which is good. Very good. We might have some traffic to contend with on our next lap though. George goes purple in the first. That is a strong start. He's quicker than Hamilton. Heading up to the second sector split. He's still purple. And he's still faster than Lewis as well. So this is going to be a front row, potentially pole position setting time for George here. This should give him a really nice big boost to his confidence as well. There we go. And it is 0.3 faster than Alonso. That is nice. So 1:32.5. And Hamilton's gone faster. Wow. Where did that come from? 1:32.4. He must have been mighty in that final sector. He's 0.07 of a second faster. That snapping noise was my ankle. Alright, everyone is out on track now, apart from Seitz. Who is yet to leave the garage. He's leaving it late if he's not coming out. There he is. So Seitz is definitely going to be in the way, I think, on our second flying lap. Not sure about Leclerc and the Alpine. They might be far enough ahead to not get in the way.
It's all clear ahead. Good to go. And circuit is all clear. Magic, good to go.
Ah, yes, the famous magic button. George goes purple in the first sector, so he's improving already. And now Lewis goes purple. There's Sainz just up ahead. Hopefully George is going to catch and pass him before he gets to the twiddly bits, otherwise he's going to really get held up. See how he just dived out the way there? Let's see if he does the same for Lewis. George did not improve in the middle sector, but Lewis has gone purple. It's looking like Lewis is going to take pole. I think Sainz might be just far enough ahead for Lewis not to catch him. Yeah, he's going to be winding up now. Alright, Russell across the line does improve and takes pole by 24 thousandths. But I think Hamilton's going to retake it here. And he does by nearly 2 tenths.
So currently P1. Okay, let's call the car.
That's pretty mighty.
Understood.
Oh, Perez splits us. Look at that. Perez just 17 thousandths slower. Verstappen goes P4. Stroll goes 5th. Here comes Alonso. Can he improve? Alonso stays 6th, though he's been out-qualified by Stroll. Got an Alpine coming across the line. That's Ocon. Goes up to P7. Next up is Leclerc and then Gasly. And Sainz to bring up the rear. And here comes Leclerc. And he improves up to P4. Ahead of Verstappen. Gasly goes to P7. So Ocon and Alonso have dropped down and another place. What can Sainz do? And Sainz goes faster than his teammate. He goes up to 4th place. So 4th and 5th for the Ferraris. Verstappen down to 6th. Stroll 7th. Gasly 8th. Alonso knocked all the way down to 9th. And Ocon in 10th. And that is your starting lineup for the sprint. And we're starting on full wets, so I'm going to take a lap of fuel out. Controversial. Right, we need to swap out those ERS units. Although, given how fast we were, no. But let's play safe. Let's put the better ERS units in for both cars. Oh, that was the best one for Lewis, wasn't it? It's George I need to do. There we go. Right, reason I'm taking a lap of fuel out is you actually gain fuel even on full fuel push when it's really, really wet. So, given that we're starting on full wets, I'm going to take that gamble. Oh, this is P2. Ah, I forgot. I thought it was a sprint. Okay, well, yeah, the weather's going to fall away pretty quickly. Let's go back to... What tyres do I want to put on? I'm going to put on some softs. We'll start with inters, though. We're going to... Oh, nuts. I've put the good ERS units in, haven't I? Damn it. Too late now. We'll just have to run the good ERS units in practice. Oh, and the good gearbox and the good engines as well. Knackers. Be paying no attention whatsoever.
Let's just manage these tyres. Copy. Charge the pack. Copy. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Understood.
So we know where we are with the setups. We're just looking to get some track knowledge with our drivers. We're not going to get 100% on our confidence, but the closer we can get, the better. And while they're running, I am going to just pull up those screenshots and add those values into the book for COTA. So 8:13. 8. Uh, 3.45 and a 0.2. Okay, and next is George. And that is 8.5, 13.19, 3.45, and a 0.55. No, 3.5 and 0.55. That one's actually already in the book. Beautiful. So we've got one new setup. 5 for the circuit now. Track is drying up. Okay, let's call them in, get them onto a set of dry tyres. And I'm going to go softs because I want to save the mediums and the hards for the sprint and the race. I don't think we're really going to use the softs that much this weekend. I want more fuel than that as well. Let's go as much as I can get, which is 22 laps. It should be enough. Yeah, it's 16 laps in a half for a 26 to 28 minute run, so 20 laps will be fine for George. We can always keep him out if he does finish his run early. Let's have a look. He is predicted to end just a couple of minutes before, so yeah, we can just extend that. Oh, wow. Massive fireball turned Oxfordshire sky orange after a lightning strike hits a biogas tank. I'll have to check that out later. BBC News update on my phone there. We're not even going to get close to maxing out our track knowledge. We'll be lucky to get close to 80, I think, at this rate. Maybe 80. Spin for science. Stay out on track for another couple of laps, please, George. There we go, that's the flag.
So we have taken the flag.
We got to, what, mid to high 70s. Alright, now we've got the sprint. No need to swap the parts out because we forgot to do it. So,
Hello and welcome as our
we're ready.
Grand Prix weekend continues, and the sprint will soon be upon us. And whilst qualifying has already established today's starting grid, the results of the sprint will determine the lineup for the Grand Prix itself.
It's not only the starting grid decided here, though. The top finishers in the sprint have the chance to score crucial championship points.
But the question is, who will be the lone star in the sprint around Texas?
alright, let's have a quick look at the weather forecast. It's going to be dry for the whole sprint. So, softs are definitely not going to make it. Mediums are going to be touch and go. Hards are available and will be in better condition. But I think I want to save the hards for the race in case we get a safety car in the race. I'm going to go with the mediums. Just have to be careful on the mediums. We are not going to take any fuel out. I'm going to try not to push the tyres. I'm going to push the battery from the start and the fuel, but not the tyres. I want these to make sure they go the distance.
The grid is all set here in Texas for the 19 laps of today's sprint.
Always a popular event with the audiences in Austin. We're hoping to see drivers dueling it out around the circuit of the Americas.
But just who comes out on top when the checkered flag flies? Things are hotting up here in Texas for the sprint. And it's lights
So
out.
Jacko has gone for the hard
away we
tyres,
go.
which means we're able to jump him off the line. We'll fight back. We've got the inside for the next corner. Farah's got his voodoo doll at the ready. And there we go, we are up into first and second. See anyone else on the hards? Schumacher's on the hards. We've got Verstappen on softs, as is Tsunoda and Bottas. Those guys are really going to struggle with their tyres. They've got to look after them or potentially make a stop, or else they're going to get a puncture, I think. And having Perez in third is really good for us at the moment, because hopefully he will hold up everyone behind him and give us a chance to sprint away a little bit. We're close to actually breaking the DRS, so I'm going to turn the tyres up just a touch.
Push now.
Okay.
Just until we get to the first DRS zone, which will be the long back straight. It comes in on lap 2 in the sprint rather than lap 3. So we get a strong first sector.
DRS enabled.
We can be comfortably clear of Perez and not have to worry about him attacking us on the back straight.
Perez is the car behind.
We still managed to sneak in. Let's watch that rear wing flap open up. Yeah, he still managed to sneak into the DRS. Well, alright, we'll keep pushing the tyres for the rest of this lap then. See if we can actually break away. These two going side by side is not helping.
So anything could happen.
So at least Perez isn't going to get the DRS here. Oh, got a yellow flag. That's a Ferrari, I think. Yeah, Sainz.
Along the straights here. And there goes the steering. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
So that's going to drop Sainz to the back of the grid. Behind Magnussen. Hamilton outbraking George into turn 1 there. And Leclerc has gone in front of Perez. Okay, we're going to drop these tyres down now. I'm going to drop the fuel back down as well. And we'll go into top up. We are clear of Leclerc at the moment, just.
Understood.
So we'll try and keep a little bit of battery in reserve.
Yep.
Well, we definitely lost a bit of ground on the back straight there. I think Leclerc is on a push. He's gobbled at the distance. Look at that. He's halved the gap. They've pushed the tyres a little harder than us though. So I want to look after these tyres, make sure they go the distance. To the point where I'm actually going to drop the tyre pace down a touch. Theoretically, we should be getting these two to work in tandem, not attacking each other to try and pull away and stay ahead, but they've got a championship to decide. So we are going to let them just go at it. Yuki Tsunoda up to 9th place. Sainz is still at the back of the grid, stuck behind Magnussen.
Yeah, don't sweat it, please.
Oh, another yellow flag with a crash at turn 1.
So we've got a debris on the track.
Is that Hulkenberg? It is. It's always Hulkenberg. He just pushes debris off the track. No, that was Schumacher. Number 47 is Schumacher. I keep forgetting De Vries is gone. Not on the grid anymore. So that's a penalty for Hulkenberg. 5 seconds. I doubt he's going to make a pit stop. So that'll be added onto his race time at the end. Which will currently see him drop down behind Ricciardo, but just ahead of Bottas. Lewis is going to have a go around the outside into turn 1. The move done. I was worried for a second, I thought there was going to be contact. The last thing I want is for my drivers to do something stupid and start breaking the few remaining good parts that they've got left. Russell's going to have a look at the inside himself. He goes side by side through this whole sequence of corners here. So worried about. I could just see bits of carbon fibre flying off then. I was like, oh no, please don't. It's nerve-wracking watching your two drivers just scrap like that. I'm so glad that I've got them on medium and not on high aggression. Because otherwise they would be throwing the car into these corners, and that would drastically increase the chance of a collision. Do need to be wary of the threat of the Ferrari. We're looking after our tyres. You can see we've actually got the only one with better tyres than us on the entire grid is Perez. Even Schumacher's tyres aren't as good, although Schumacher had that contact, so that would have damaged his tyres a little bit, and he collided with Hulkenberg. Up the tyre pace just a little bit for a couple of laps because they're getting very close to going into a less than optimal temperature range. When they get to about 95, the mediums tend to go blue. Not good. And we'll just get a little bit more temperature back into the tyres for a lap or two. Close to breaking away from the Ferraris again. The Ferrari, as I should say. Sainz still is stuck behind Magnussen. That's ruined his race weekend. Russell retakes the lead. Hamilton goes, did you just stab him? Your voodoo doll there.
Push and hold, overtake.
Let's just see if we can open up the gap again in this first sector. Almost. We are just lacking a little bit in that final sequence of turns. What he felt was a drop in one of his stats. Maybe. Maybe. Is he going to degrade for the third month in a row? That's the question. Alright, we've opened up a little bit of a gap. Hamilton's going to go around the outside. Oh, again, it's so nervous. The camera angles make it look like one of them's about to turn in on the other one. And that whole side-by-side sequence through the entire first sector has cost us half a second. God damn it. We pull away and then immediately lose that time again. Alright, let's cool the tyres down again.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Oh wow, Schumacher's dropped all the way back to 20th. He must have made a mistake. He was suddenly 4 seconds off. I must have missed that. Yeah, look how slow his last lap was at 1:39.7. You can see how much Bottas's tyres have degraded, along with Tsunoda's, and of course Sainz with that big lockup. His tyres have taken a pummeling as well. These guys are still going to do 9 more laps on their tyres, which is comfortable. Yeah, it's quite comfortable on this track at the moment. We've got enough grip that we can turn the pace on when we need to. But come the end of the race, at the end of the sprint, we should be able to comfortably open up a gap in the last few laps and not be under too much pressure. We've got to be careful of Perez. If he can get a run, he might be able to threaten, but he has dropped off the back of Max. Max has got through on those softs. As we see Hamilton finally getting a move together. And Sainz has passed Bottas, so he's up to 18th now, all over the back of Zhou. Oh, I saw twitchiness just every time. Every time they go into that corner, heart goes into the mouth. Sometimes it's not fun when you're managing two guys who are both fighting tooth and nail for the title. Either one of these two could take this. It's way too close to call. Perez has dropped out of the RS range to Max. Oh, he's just sneaking back in again. And Verstappen has to box. Those tyres can't go any further. Are we going to see Yuki dive in? Yes, so that means Bottas is probably going to come in as well. So that takes Max out of the equation, not just in the sprint but also in the race as well, because he's only going to have what, 7 laps now to try and get as high up the grid as possible. He's got another set of softs, he'll be quick, but he's a fair way off. I think, you know, if he's lucky, he might get up to Albon and Ocon, but I can't see him going any higher than that. And of course, he's got a penalty in the main race as well, so wherever he finishes, slap on another 10 places, and that's where he's going to start. The downside to him boxing is that Leclerc is now unleashed and able to just go on the attack, which he immediately does to Hamilton. Up the tyre pace touch.
Understood.
Imagine if I had Nico in George's seat. Yeah, then I'd be edgy. Yeah, that was a very bitter rivalry between these two. Hamilton's got back through against Charles Leclerc, who's got an edge in the tyres. Haven't got much in the way of battery though. Fuel is now back to positive. Good. Oh wow, Max is flying. He's already caught and passed Norris. Sorry, Piastri. He's right on the back of Norris. Or at least he will be in a few corners' time. Sainz now up to 16th. And his tyres are going to struggle in the closing laps as well. And now Perez is attacking Leclerc, who's dropping back. I wonder if he's charging up a touch.
Pace is still good, let's just keep it up.
I'd really like to put battery into the drivers. With Leclerc and Perez lurking in the background like that. Just have to triple charge them like they are. Going to up the tyre pace through this first sector, see if we can actually stay clear of Leclerc here.
And let's push. Okay.
Maybe. I think we did. Just. 4.5 laps to go. I might possibly leave their tyres on this setting for a little while. Max has already caught Albon. He did that a lot quicker than I was expecting. A lot quicker.
Use the overtake. Understood.
Just going to stretch that gap a little bit now. 4 laps left. Just give ourselves a little bit of a comfort zone.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
Nearly 3 seconds now. Aston looking strong, running in 56th. That'll be worth 7 points for them in total, if they can hold those 2 places.
Charge the pack.
So discharge that pack.
Yep.
Alright, there we go.
Reduce your speed.
Oh, yellow flag. Lock up for
Now
Schumacher.
we should be able to take a look here. Here we are then at the 11th corner.
He's not been having a good race, has he? He's got wing
The
damage
brakes
from that
couldn't
collision
cope.
as well. Look.
What caused that, I wonder?
Let's just manage these tyres.
Alright, so sights up to 15th, right on the back of Hulkenberg. How much has he got left on those tyres? Not much.
I just don't think about getting the pack.
Not
back
much
up.
at all. He's probably going to go to the end, but he's going to be very, very careful. At least he should be very careful. Hulkenberg is going to lose multiple places with his penalty. He's currently just, well, like a tenth of a second ahead of Tsunoda. And now he's behind Tsunoda. As these two are still going side by side. Lewis has turned to take the lead for a bit. We've got the gap up to nearly 4 seconds over Leclerc now. Max is still in 10th. I'm amazed he hasn't swept past Ocon and Albon yet.
2 more laps.
Here comes George up the inside. And Perez is through against Charles. Have dropped off. They're now 4.2 seconds behind us.
There seems to be some great resistance.
Oh, and George is trying to go around the outside. That's a brave move. And he's going to get the DRS. And he'll just swoop past Hamilton back into the lead. Nervous, Farah? He's got a lap to go. And 2 DRS zones. Here comes Lewis. So close to contact again. How many points for a 1-2 here? It's 8 points for a win, 7 points, then 6, then 5, all the way down to 1 for 8th place. So 15 points in the Constructors' Championship. And obviously if it stays like this, then the gap between the two drivers in the Drivers' Championship will come down to just 2 points from 3. I think Hamilton is going to hold on. Going to need a lunge somewhere from Russell. And I don't think he's in a position to make it. Just a couple of corners to go. And there we go, Lewis is going to win the sprint.
Awesome race, mate.
Mega job.
So you've taken the checkered flag. So that's P2.
Nice one. Very nice one.
Well done.
Well, there we go. Perez takes third from Leclerc in fourth, Alonso and Stroll fifth and sixth, Gasly seventh, Albon is eighth, Verstappen ninth, Ocon does get points, he's in 10th, ahead of Norris. Actually no, Ocon doesn't get points, nor does Verstappen. 8th was the final points because it's the sprint. So then you've got Norris, Magnussen, Hulkenberg. Sainz back up to 14th, but yeah, he's a long way back for the main race. Then Piastri, Ricciardo, Zhou, Tsunoda, Bottas, and a long way back with damage. Mick Schumacher just crosses the line. And that's your running order for the main race, which is next.
And what a magnificent sprint win for Lewis Hamilton.
And what a well-deserved P1 finish that was. Absolutely outstanding.
So confirmation of the sprint result there. You can see we have got penalties for Albon, Verstappen and Ocon. They're all going to get dropped further down the grid in the main race. And Bottas is going to be last, given that he's got a penalty. Let's see, where did Hulkenberg end up with his 5-second penalty? Down in 18th place in the end, behind Tsunoda, but just ahead of Bottas by about 4 seconds. So, yeah, let's see what happens in the main race.
Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel.
The Circuit of the Americas is definitely a track that rewards bravery on the brakes, just like when Lewis Hamilton passed Sebastian Vettel unbelievably late here to take the win in 2012. And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
And it goes without saying that a lot can happen over the course of 56 laps. So prepare yourselves for all the action at the United States Grand Prix.
So we do have a front row lockout for this. Do penalties apply for the sprint race? Could you take a penalty for the sprint and not have it carry forward to the race? That's how it's supposed to be. With the old rules, obviously this season's sprints are self-contained, and for whatever reason, I know that the changes to sprint race regulations were made very, very close to the start of the new season, and they'd already been coded in to the game on the old one. So we've got kind of a hodgepodge of sprint rules this year. We don't in this version of the game, you know, and they're not going to get changed, I don't think, in this version. I think the next iteration of the game will be when we get, you know, the most up-to-date sprint rules, assuming they don't change again at the last minute like they did this year. So it used to be that you would take a penalty in the sprint. You know, you would do your sprint quali, take your penalty, and then you would fight your way up through the sprint race from wherever you started, and then that would be your starting position in the race. They changed the rules this year at the last minute before the season went live, so that sprints became self-contained, and changed the point scoring from just 3 points for first, 2 for second, 1 for third, to 8 for the win, going all the way down to a point for 8th. And sprints became self-contained, so penalties were not applicable in sprints. You know, and so we've kind of got both versions of sprint rules just meshed together at the moment, and it's not ideal. So yeah, if we get penalties, they do not affect the sprint, and they come into effect at this point. So if we'd started 10th, fought our way up to 1st, and then taken a brand new engine, you know, at the start of the weekend, we would then drop back down to 11th with a 10th place penalty for the main race, despite having finished in 1st. Yeah, it's not ideal. Right, let's have a look at strategy. This is probably what we're going to go with. I might start on the hards, but I remember last time I started on hards, we just about got away with it. Time before that was Barca, and we got taken out. So, do I want to run that risk? It's another big, heavy braking zone. I think starting on mediums is probably the smarter choice. Let's look at doing that, I think. We've got an extra set of hards available. If we get an early safety car, we can box onto the first set of hards and then go hards for the second second stop instead of mediums. If we get a safety car about halfway through the race, again we can box and go on to a new set of hards instead of mediums at the end. So we've got a couple of options there. We'll do the same with Lewis. We'll look to do that. There we go. Fuel, I'm going to take 3 laps of fuel out. Give us a nice light car off the line. Once again, I'm not going to push the tyres off the start. I'm going to push fuel and battery, but not the tyres. And we'll just hold on to those. And I'm only going to push the battery for the first few corners. And then try and turn it off and see if we can cope with that. I might have to turn the tyres up when I do that. Right, let's go to the grid.
We're not far off now here in Austin as the drivers ready themselves for this 56-lap race. This could be a big race for that man right there, Lewis Hamilton.
They're on pole, and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? Here we go. It's the United States Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Right, lots of cars on on mediums. A few on softs. Nobody starting on the hards. We've got both of our cars into the first turn, holding position. Perez is going to be very punchy on this first lap or two. He's going to try and throw it up the inside. We blocked that nicely. Max is down in 13th place. Sainz has been promoted up to 10th thanks to those penalties for Verstappen and Albon, and who else? Bottas had a penalty. There was someone else as well. I'm not sure who the other one was. I can't remember. Might have been off. No, it wasn't off. No, yeah, it might have been Ocon. Ocon's down in 12th. Right, let's try turning off the battery.
Just charge the pack.
Yeah.
I'm going to push the tyres in this first sector.
Pick up the pace.
I'm saving this battery so I can turn it back on again on lap 3, just to see if we can actually break away from Perez before DRS becomes active on this back straight coming up. I'm going to push too early, because then, you know, if he keeps with us, we'll have no chance. Whereas if we can hold, you know, make him waste his battery now and then try and sprint away over the first half of the next lap, we might be able to clear him. Or at the very least, we can drop Alonso from the back of this little 3-car train. Oh, some F1 news for you. I completely forgot about it. I was going to mention it earlier in practice, and I just forgot. The FIA have approved Andretti's application to join Formula 1 from 2025 onwards. Now it's up to F1 itself as to whether or not they're going to accept Andretti, and it's unlikely they are. It could prompt court battles. Yeah, we'll see, but you know, there is a possibility that Andretti could actually make it to the grid for 2025. I think they've got an agreement to use Renault engines in their first season, and then obviously from 2026 they're going to be using their own engines because they're in partnership with Cadillac, so they'll be using GM engines for 2026 onwards. Did they reject the team? Yeah, there were 4 applications in the end. 4 teams that made, well, loads of teams that made an approach. They whittled the list down to 4. One of those was just a really weird acronym. Well, not acronym, just, you know, initials. I can't remember what they were called. But I think they were a Chinese team. I think. There was Rodin Carlin, who also do the feeder series, so they're in F2, F3 and F4. I think they're F4 as well. They're a New Zealand-based outfit, and they apparently were going to reserve a seat for Jamie Chadwick, but they did not meet the FIA's requirements, apparently. Not quite sure why they didn't.
Copy.
And there was one other team as well. I'm sorry which one that one was. I think it was High Tech.
Keep these tyres in good nick. Understood.
Which also does feeder series. I know they do F2 and F3. I'm not sure if they do F4 or not, but yeah, I think High Tech was the other team. So once again, battle commences between our 2 drivers. Perez and Alonso are scrapping just behind us, dropping in and out of DRS range depending on how much we hold each other up. And Leclerc is just outside of DRS range in 5th. We might just sneak back in. I think we might have actually just slipped back in there. He's got Gasly right behind him. Stroll is in 7th, so Alonso's made a great start. And Sainz up to 9th. Max still down in 13th. we're not going to be able to break away from Perez just yet. Take a look at tyres. We've got a nice little edge at the moment. Don't really want to go back onto the lower pace setting for the tyres just yet. We are fuel saving. Going onto a lower tyre setting as well means we're going to be probably sitting ducks for Perez. So we'll just run like this for a bit. Still got some battery in reserve. We'll try breaking away again at some point in the next few laps as well. Gasly's jumped Leclerc. Gasly's been having a good weekend. Just cut back to Max, stuck behind Piastri at the moment. Although Piastri is just dropping out of DRS range, so he will be easy picking on the back straight if he can't keep the DRS here. Given the way Max is all over the back of him, he might be easy pickings before we can get there. Those soft tyres are helping Oscar out at the moment, but they will degrade quickly. Oh, Perez is right up there with us, look. So he goes side by side with Hamilton. Gets the move done. Can Hamilton come back up the inside?
Don't sweat it, Lewis.
He can. Perez is going to take that position back again. Now he's all over the back of George. And he's going to make the move into turn one. I'm not going to panic, I'm not going to overreact. This is a race where tyre wear is very important. We saw just how much tyre wear can be a factor in the sprints. Like to drop Alonso though if possible, so what I might do is just go for a squirt of battery. See if we can drop him. You're getting edgy as well now, are you? Yeah. That'll happen. I'm just having a look at the inside. Can't quite get the move done. Ride the ham cam.
push. That's it.
No, we're not getting past Perez. We are breaking away from Alonso though, which is good. Even in myself. Russell has actually broken away from Perez here. This might give Hamilton a chance into turn 1.
So we're low on battery.
Ran out of battery. That might come back to bite him. We'll have a look.
So just charge that back.
And he gets the move done. Good stuff. Calm those tyres down again.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Hamilton is outside of DRS range at the moment, so this is George's chance. There's Alonso. Again. Hamilton is closing back in on Russell. Now there goes Perez up the inside. He's not got the move done though. Hamilton will come back at him. Actually just go ahead and complete the move. I'm going to actually stick Lewis into harvest mode here.
I just don't think about getting the pack back up.
If I'm a little quieter than normal tonight, it's because I'm tired. The last couple of weeks I've been sleeping for a few hours in the afternoon before the stream, and I didn't today.
Let's just keep that
I'm starting to feel it now. I've been trying to reset my body clock back to not napping in the afternoon. Alonso is going to join the party. I think Perez might be charging up. Yeah, he's going slow compared to Russell. And that's allowed Alonso to close in. Let's have a quick update on the grid. Max has now got himself up to 11th place and has got a little bit of clear track in front of him now to try and set some quick laps. He's closing in on Norris quite quickly already. He's definitely on a push. You can see how quickly he's breaking away from Magnussen. Just since I started talking about Max, he's already pulled a second on the gap to Norris. The Ferraris are running 6th and 7th. Sainz had a good recovery so far. He's on the soft tyres though, so he's going to have to box soon. And we're going to try and brake past Perez.
Yep.
Get away from Alonso. Get him and Perez back together and see if we can leave them both. Lewis will get the move done here. Here we go. Dive down the inside. 3.5 kilos of fuel to save. We've still got a long way to go. If we can get most of it saved in this first stint, that'll be good. Get the last of it saved on the hard tyres in the middle stint, and then we can just go all out in the final stint on tyres. So not have to worry about the fuel. I'm going to keep pushing with Lewis here. And his battery is now similar to George, so we're going to push George as well.
Happy to start reducing that management.
Yep, fine.
In fact, we're actually getting close to our stop, so we'll leave our tyres in this pace setting now. So can Lewis break away from Checo? Quite. Hopefully by the end of this straight though. Gasly and Leclerc are still scrapping. Notice they've been battling away for the last 10 laps or so. There we go, our drivers are out of fuel. Not fuel, sorry, battery.
Charge the pack.
Yeah, copy.
So we'll put them into top up, but we'll leave the tyres on this setting. I want to try and avoid pushing where I can, not just because it burns the tyres up, but also because it puts more strain on the engines and the other powertrain components, and we're limited. So if we can get through these races putting as little strain on the cars as possible, that would be ideal. We've got Sainz and Magnussen in the box. So Sainz has gone onto what tyres? Let's have a look. He comes out of the pits. He's gone onto mediums. He's down in 16th place. He's just ahead of Bottas. There's Valtteri there. Perez is pushing again. You can see how quickly he's closing up on the back of Hamilton there. He didn't have DRS, so that was battery. That was definitely a purging of his battery to get back into the DRS range of Lewis. Two and a bit more laps to go. And we've got a yellow flag, and that is, I'm not sure actually.
And here we've got a yellow
Oh, it's
flag.
Stroll. On the wrong part of the track map.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Yeah, not clever there from Stroll. That's dropped him down to 8th place, and that's hurt his tyres a little bit as well. Piastri is in the box. Medium's going on. Perez is going to have a look. Gets the move done.
So anything could happen, Lewis. Let's just keep our heads down.
It's kind of tricky trying to manage our drivers like this. Normally I would want to take an immediate advantage of this to start putting a load of battery into Lewis's car, but I want to try and keep it fair and balanced in terms of tyres, fuel and battery levels between our two drivers, so that neither one of them has an advantage over the other at any one point, because they're so close. If they were miles apart, say Russell had spun and was like down in 8th place or something, and Perez went through past Hamilton for the lead, I would immediately start working to build Hamilton's battery up, and obviously we'd be doing the same with Russell as he worked his way through the field. But when they're so close together like this, I don't want to get involved in giving a driver an advantage over the other one. We'll let them fight for the championship with as little involvement for us as possible, because I think that's the only way we can be fair to both of our drivers. We are getting close to pit stops. There we go. So, what's our tyre wear like? 44%, 42 for Lewis. George has got to get priority because he is at the front.
Box.
Full tyre press on both drivers. Hamilton's going to have to do an extra lap.
Start pushing them.
Oh, wait.
It's too close for a double stack. Need about 4 seconds between our drivers to kind of pull that off successfully. And then, of course, if we have a problem with George's stop, that screws up Lewis as well. Better to just box them on alternate laps. There we go, George into the box. Will he get a clean stop? Yes, he will. 1.98 seconds. That's a very good stop. So, let's schedule Lewis.
Box.
So this lap.
And we get out ahead of Stroll and Verstappen. That's good. Alright, Paris is probably going to follow us into the pits here. As long as we have a really quick stop, we should be able to hold position and not get held on release. But it needs to be a good stop, or else we're going to lose position to Jacko.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Understood.
Oh, Jacko stays out. Interesting. Did not expect that at all. Oh, it's a bad stop. That's a very bad stop.
Sorry about
Nearly
that.
6 seconds. We lost just a fraction under 4 seconds on that stop there. That's not good.
So be exiting into traffic.
So that means we are probably going to lose position to Perez, assuming he boxes at the end of this lap. We come out behind Sainz and Verstappen. Curse you and your voodoo doll there, Farah. George's tyres are up to temps. We've got a yellow flag.
Speed.
Yeah, Roger.
That's Bottas at turn 1.
So let's take a look at the replay. Heading down the straight,
Under pressure from
and
the
car
McLaren
just
of Norris.
locked.
And
They were just
locked
unable
up.
to do much about it.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Copy.
Russell shaping up a move on Ocon here. Not quite close enough. Perez is staying out. Is he going for a one-stop? He must be going for a one-stop strategy. There's Max boxes. And George swoops past Ocon there. Puts him up to 5th place now. Lewis's tyres are just about up to temperature. There we go, 1.4 kilos of fuel left to save as well.
Understood.
We'll get that down to about half a kilo, and then we'll stop fuel saving. And Perez does finally box. Alonso following him in as well. No, he's going medium, so he is two-stopping. Oh, and he gets held for Alonso. So George goes through. I don't think Lewis is going to get there in time. Not quite. Oh, no, he did. Lewis did manage to get back in front of Perez. So Perez's decision to stay out those extra couple of laps cost him. Because even though he got held for an extra second or so, waiting for the Aston Martin to go through, his stop was still quicker than mine. He shouldn't have stayed out those extra laps, or else he would have been able to hold position against Lewis. Or jump Lewis. As it was, he is back to a second and a half behind again. So strange choice there, strange decision. Lewis's confidence level at starting levels at the moment, still very high for George. He's gone past Ocon, hunting down Gasly now. Should be on him very quickly. Gasly's tyre's pretty much dead. The ideal thing for George here would be Ocon boxing first and then Gasly. Because that would give him the chance to overtake Gasly and get the confidence boost before Gasly hits the pits. But it's Gasly who's boxing first. Oh, and Ocon's going in as well. They're going to go for a double stop here. This is brave for Alpine. Let's see how well this goes. Oh, yep, definitely held up. Change of strategies as well. Oh, and it's a slow stop as well. Yeah, that really did not work out for Ocon. Gasly onto softs, mediums for Ocon. He got held waiting to go in because Gasly was too close, or he was too close to Gasly, and then he had a slow stop on top of that, so that's cost him a fair bit of time. As you see, he comes out 6-7 seconds behind his teammate now. 6 seconds behind his teammate. Hamilton under pressure from Perez. Perez is going to overtake him here with DRS. There he goes.
Yeah, Lewis, we're still in this race.
So I was going to say that Perez still needs to go into a set of hards, but given how long he went on that first set of mediums, if he does something similar on this set, he'll just go onto a set of softs at the end and he'll be rapid. I don't think Hamilton's going to be able to keep with him, so they're going to have to push Lewis.
So you can pick up the pace.
We're pretty much done with the fuel saving now. It's not quite where I wanted it to be, but
We can drop the lift and coast for now. We'll pick it up later.
close enough. Let's give George the same push.
So happy to push now.
Copy.
And see, even with tyres and battery, we're still losing time to Perez. So he's pushing 2. Well, at least he was. I think he's stopped the push now. Anything happened in the last 10 minutes? Apart from Hamilton's slow stop, no, not really. Alpine tried a double stop and it did not work. They couldn't get Gasly out quickly enough to stop Ocon from having to sit there and wait for a second or two, and then Ocon got held an extra second or two as well on his stop. So yeah. That's about the big drama. That's pretty much it. New fastest lap for Pierre, who was caught right up to the back of Leclerc. In fact, they're side by side through turn 1. Gasly's got the move done. He's straight through, chopped him up there. Leclerc will try fighting back, but very aggressive, shutting the door there. And Hamilton's still struggling. He's now 2 seconds behind Perez. Perez is past Sainz. Perez is definitely going to play a part in this race. He might threaten George for the win here. Like I said, if he takes those mediums long again and then slaps on softs, he's going to be rapid at the end. To the point where I am considering changing my strategy up a little bit.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Let's have a look. How much longer would we have to go on these tyres to maybe get some softs? I mean, they would be very quick at the end, but the actual overall lap time would actually be a second slower, just about. We'll stick to as is.
Copy.
As Perez sets a fastest lap of 1:35.9. Yeah, it's no wonder he was blitzing away from us there. He was in full push mode. His confidence has taken a hit from being overtaken a few times, but he is about to exact his own revenge on Sainz here. Not quite close enough.
So just charge that pack.
Understood.
And there's a big enough gap between the two drivers for me to justify getting involved with Lewis now. Oh, God. I knew it. I knew there was going to be collision. And that's a penalty for Lewis as well. He's lost part of his front wing. God damn it, Lewis.
I'm not quite sure what's happened there. So this is what happened. Now we're watching Carlos Sainz.
I mean, look,
here.
they got
Now, there's
into
an
each other
inviting
there.
opportunity there.
And then,
Oh,
yeah, there was
that's
always going to be
obviously far
collision
from
there
intentional,
as well.
but there
Both
was
drivers have
contact,
lost a chunk
and
of
they'll
front
have to
wing.
pick themselves up after that.
And that's Lewis out of contention for the win now. So, let's try something a little bit more aggressive for Lewis. Let's see what a double soft will do. Given that we have to stop again. What's going to be the best option? Should have another set of hards. Yeah, I've got another set of hards. Why won't it show me? Ah, that's annoying. It won't show me a brand new set of hards, even though I've got one. That's probably close, but I mean, time, it's difficult to tell. I think we'll just have to go with the aggressive strategy here. I don't have a spare front wing. I don't have a spare front wing. Alright, well, we're gonna do a Red Bull here. We're gonna box him to serve the penalties.
Box,
and then I'm gonna retire the car. Because he's gonna be so slow with half a front wing gone. But we're just gonna waste, you know, those engine components. So we're going to box him.
So no need to charge the pack.
Oh, Perez is on the back of George already.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Alright, copy that.
Let's get these penalties served and out of the way.
Roger, okay.
That was a 1.9 second pit stop as well. We're going to box him again, so we can try and set a fast pit stop for the competition, and then we're going to retire him. He got 2 penalties there, 2 separate collisions, one on the the entrance to the corner and one on the exit.
So
the yellow flag out there. And it's a VSC. Ooh.
We've had a big crash here.
Okay.
We have debris.
Everyone okay?
At the moment, everything is looking okay.
I see. It shows me the extra tyres for George. Okay, let's get rid of that stop. Oh, it's going to be pushing it. So that is that strategy. If we now go mediums and softs. That's 3 seconds quicker. What about if we go soft? That might be a bit too much. This is pretty much the same. I'm gonna go with this strategy for George. It means he can push more and counter that pace of Perez, and then finish on a set of softs to go for the fastest lap as well. So yeah, we're gonna do that with George. So let's box him for mediums. Drop the fuel, drop the tyres, off we go.
Now I think this, yes, it's Carlos Sainz.
Oh, Sainz has had another crash. He's only just come out the pits. Oh! That's the first time we've seen that before. A car skidding off the track, rejoining the track and taking someone else out.
As for the team back in the garage, that was a tough moment to watch.
And that's them both out.
So we got a VSC. Just hit that delta positive.
Copy.
So George dives into the pits. Here. We'll get out ahead of Gasly. So another quick stop, 1.92. The fastest stop of the Grand Prix so far, I believe. There goes Alonso. There we go. So, back out in front of Gasly. We're now 15 seconds off the back of Perez, but we've got better tyres. Good. 1.98. And now we're going to retire the car.
Box. Okay, so let's trundle in. Sorry about that, Lewis.
So, big points for George over Lewis today. Assuming that George doesn't do something stupid and write his car off as well.
VSC ending.
Yep.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Copy.
So we DRS this lap.
There we go. Lewis is out. So it's all on George. Chance to really open up a gap over Lewis. With just 4 races to go after this one.
Push and hold at overtake.
Copy.
We'll go for a fastest lap attempt.
Okay, let's see what you got then.
Copy.
Of course, that gap has come down naturally because we're back up to racing speeds. So it's not 15 seconds, it's 11 and a half. That's nice. We are definitely going to close that gap up. So the Sainz not able to serve his penalty. That will now be a 3-place grid drop for Sainz at the next Grand Prix. A hell of a crash from Sainz. I've never seen that. A car skidding off the track, rejoining and taking another car out while completely out of control like that. There we go, new fastest lap. Didn't go purple in the first. Wasn't even a personal best in the first, but he was mighty in the middle and final sectors. Set a lap time of 1:35.1, which, as you can see, is comfortably faster than everybody else on track right now. 1.6 seconds faster than Fernando on that last lap. There is George.
Just reduce your speed.
Copy.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, copy.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Alonso was pushing on that off as well, given that all Perez was just very slow. I'm looking at the rest of the field, yeah, Alonso was pushing as well, and we were still hunting him down. Take the sting out of those tyres. Temperature's back under control. Let's see, can George get the move done here? Confidence-wise, this will be a nice little boost. He's not going to hit peak. But he is going to get the move done.
Just show me what you've got then.
And now that Lewis isn't in battle with him, we can put him into aggressive overtaking.
So we roll.
Look good. Happy to start
Now we
reducing
can
that
start
management.
hunting down Checo, whose tyres are definitely worse off. Gap is definitely coming down. Alonso is going to get pulled along a little bit here. Let's see if we can break the toe.
So happy to push now.
Yeah, copy, all good.
Oh yeah, comfortably. That's the power of brand new tyres. Right, let's have a look further down the order. Gasly and Leclerc are still going at it. They've been doing this little dance of theirs for about 30 laps now. Verstappen's up to 7th. He is right on the back of Ocon, and they are just 2 seconds down the road. See the Ferrari make the move here. There's Stroll. Stroll's in 8th. This could be more massive points for Aston Martin over Ferrari here tonight. Both Alonso and Stroll are in the top 10. There's only one Ferrari still running. Evening, Derek. Logged in to see that your guy's out. You don't have to take an early night, you can stick around. There's no guarantees George is going to win this race. There's no guarantees George is going to finish this race. If he breaks his front wing in the same way that Lewis did, he's going to get retired as well, I think. Well, unless there's only a couple of laps to go. We do not have any spares. Did I mean to leave my fuel high? Yes. Yes, I did. We've still got 22 laps to go. 21 at the end of this one. We'll easily make that 100 grams of fuel back in the next few laps. Just help me pull away from Alonso and closing on Perez without having to push the tyres in any way, shape or form. You see we're now 5 seconds clear of Fernando. He's just 2.5 behind Checo. And Gasly boxes. So those soft tyres are pretty much done. I'm guessing he's going to go mediums. Stop. So Perez has got a push at the moment, as indicated by the fact he's doing 137 on very old tyres. Perez start on the softs. No, he went medium, so those tyres struggling, he's going to either have to go for hards if he boxes soon, or stretch those tyres probably another 8 laps. Is what we're looking to go another 8 laps before we box. Our tyres are in much better shape, so he's really going to have to save those tyres. He's going to have to go really slow. Make sure he gets there in one piece. And yeah, he's still pushing. He's faster than we are at the moment. It's an interesting choice. We're going to put some pressure on him. He can burn those tyres out, force him onto hard tyres. At the very least, we'll get right on the back of him and get our battery fully charged so we can sprint away from him. As Albon dives into the pits. And it's hard tyres for Albon. And Oscar's in as well. And Hulkenberg. And now Zhou as well. Everyone diving in. Another set of mediums for Oscar. He's getting held. For the Haas of Hulkenberg, who's also gone mediums, and so is Zhou. So those three are going to the end. Which is definitely putting some pressure on Checo now. Gap down to about 2 seconds. Russell vision as Max boxes. Getting off those half tyres a little earlier than I thought he would. He's gone onto a set of mediums, so that's him to the end. He might just make it out ahead of Stroll here. It's going to be close. There goes Stroll and Gasly. Verstappen is going to come out behind the pair of them. Stroll might well pit again. Gasly is going to the end, so he does not need to box. Meanwhile, Perez is still pumping in very quick times on those tyres. Oh, an issue for Norris on his pit stop. I think Perez is definitely going to try and stretch for softs. Schumacher's in now. Still out there.
Let's push and get past him.
I'm amazed Perez is able to pump in lap times this quickly. As Stroll hits the pits. Oh, we got a yellow flag. I was just checking to see if Checo had a puncture. It's not him. It's a rocket for Norris.
Let's see what happened there. Now we're at turn 11 now. Very heavy on the brakes. Just unable to control the
flat
car
spotted
by
those
that point.
tyres. Stroll's out on mediums. Looks like Tsunoda's going for hard tyres. It's still too early for softs. Perez might have to go for hards here if he can't go any further. His tyres are now under 30%. Surely he's going to box this lap. I hope he stays out because it gives me a chance to overtake him and get that confidence boost. He is staying out.
It's not going to be long that way.
Do I think there'll be a driver rating change in the future patch of this game? No. No, they've already said they're not going to patch driver stats.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Okay.
I think Perez might get DRS here. But we've got better tyres and we've got battery. Oh, when he didn't get the DRS, he wasn't close enough to the back of Joe there. So we'll swoop on through. That gives George a nice little boost of confidence.
That was a nice move.
Yeah, it was a nice move, George.
Nice work.
Let's have a look at that. It was George Russell involved.
Yeah,
They
straight
decide
down
to
the
give it a
outside of
go.
him there.
And George Russell says thank you very much.
already over a second clear. And we'll get DRS off the back of Joe as well. He dives out of the way. And we're going to drop the tyres down, go back into top up.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Come on.
Perez's tyres at 24, he must be stretching for soft. He's got to be taking that chance and staying out. We're going to watch George, stop watching George. We're going to watch Checo, because I want to see if he gets a puncture, as Ocon and Leclerc both come in nose to tail here. Are these guys going for softs? Leclerc is going soft, and so is Ocon. Oh, and Ocon gets held for the Ferrari. He gets jumped in the pits there.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
When are we due to stop? 2 more laps. I'm going to come in a lap early. I'm going to box next lap.
Yeah, we just want to grow this gap.
As Perez finally comes in. I was hoping for a puncture. That would have made my my job easier.
So box.
That's a good stop from Perez. And Alonso's in now. And he's going soft as well. Clean stop. That brings him out behind Verstappen. He's going to be comfortably clear of of Leclerc and Ocon. So solid 5th place at the moment for Alonso. Perez is going to come flying at us. Deliberately trying to get some battery saved up and some fuel, because our fastest lap is not secure, and I want to be able to push as soon as those tyres are up to temperature.
Just reduce your speed.
Coming.
Right. It's going to be touch and go. We were, what, 3.5 seconds clear as we came into the pits. Oh, we're getting held. We got held for Bottas. We're still going to come out in front though. Perez is crossing the line now.
There's a yellow flag.
It's going to be close. Oh, and Ocon's had a spin. Just ruined those brand new tyres. And there we go. We get out about a second or so ahead of Perez. That was close.
Yeah, we should be clear on exit.
Max has taken fastest lap from us. Let's see what the time was. 1:35.1. Yeah, 1:35.1. Right, so Checo's going to overtake us here, I think. No, he's not. See, I was going to let Checo get ahead and then use the DRS to swoop past him on our flying lap attempt. Just close to contact. Tyres are almost up to temp. So, tyre-wise, we've already frustrated Perez. He's pushed his tyres hard, and then while he was pushing hard, he was stuck in the dirty air and overheating his tyres even more.
I'm equally there. I cannot do anything.
A 1:34.0 for Alonso.
Push,
That's
overtake.
a quick lap.
Coming.
It's a little slow going into full-on charge mode, or full-on attack mode here with George, but we should still get the move done, hopefully, on this back straight. And we've got enough battery to have 2 cracks back to back. George isn't going to get the move done, so I'm going to abort this lap. Right, now we're going to have another crack.
Just stay close to him.
We've just given Perez a DRS.
Okay, good job.
It's still good enough though. Purple middle. Perez has thrashed his tyres already. Going to go for another attempt. He did a 1:33.7. We can go faster if we can nail the first sector. Just clinging on at the moment. Can we break the DRS? Not quite. Damn it, he stays in range. Couldn't nail the first sector, but we've got to keep pushing now to break the DRS entirely if we can. Pushing the tyres harder than I want to. I want to break away. Purple in the middle again. And there we go, 1:33.2. That is a flying lap indeed. Right. Let's save these tyres before they explode. Still a long way to go, but we opened up a 2.7 second gap, and not only that, we got George into peak confidence as well. Right, Max and Alonso is the next big battle here. Alonso's had a great recovery. He's now in contention for a podium. In part thanks to Sainz and Hamilton no longer being in the race. Alonso is trying to pull away. Slow lap for Max on the last lap there. Bringing those tyre temps down for Russell. See, Perez is starting to just nibble away at that gap already. But given that we're on a very low tyre pace setting at the moment, it's not that surprising. As long as he's outside of DRS, he's going to have to work his tyres harder than us to get back in range. And they are already in a worse state than ours, as you can see. It's actually starting to drop back again. There's 3 seconds gone back now. I wonder if we've actually managed to break Perez to the point where he won't threaten us again in this race. We'll see. I think he's about to get DRS off the back of the Alfa Romeo. No, he's still not close enough. So he will not get DRS off Peugeot. Tyre temps are now well and truly under control. Still going to stay in this setting. Just want to keep that grip advantage. Right now Alonso is pulling away from Max. There is a difference in compounds. Obviously Alonso on the soft, Max on the mediums. But Alonso's tyres aren't that much better than Verstappen's at the moment, and a lot can change in the space of 3 laps. It's possible these two could end up fighting for third again in the last lap or two. It's not a foregone conclusion yet. If we look a bit further down, Leclerc is now 6 seconds off the back of Gasly. I think that battle is done. Gasly's won that one. Stroll in 7th. Ocon in 8th. And closing in on the back of Stroll. Just a second apart here. Again, Stroll on medium tyres, Ocon on softs, but those softs are now looking a little bit ropey. He had that big spin, which has taken about 10% of his tyres away from him. Albon's in 9th, a long way off, and then he's also a long way ahead of Magnussen. So Schumacher is on the verge of points here, which, considering how miserable his race was in the sprint, it's been a solid afternoon for him. Now watch this little fight. See if Mick can do it. You can see as well, Perez is not closing the gap. He's 3.4 seconds off the back of us now. So he is not closing the gap. I think George is now safe. Also 2.2 seconds clear of Verstappen. Not quite safe yet. He's getting there. And Magnussen's just turning on the pace. Again, it's soft tyres against mediums, and I don't think Schumacher's going to be able to get him. Those tyres of Magnussen's are just too good. So I think, unfortunately, unless something happens to one of the cars in the top 10, Schumacher's not going to get points tonight. Yep. Yuki was showing zeros on his lap for a while. Just wondered if he'd had a mistake, but it was just running side by side with Norris. Once again, McLaren are really not looking good. They were looking alright earlier in the season, but they've really dropped away. They're a definite contender for a team to be rescued. Rebuilt. I will have a look on Friday at the end of the season.
5 remaining.
And then throw up a poll after the end of Friday night's stream. And I'll give you the weekend to decide which team we'll be able to take over. And that will be who we run with on Monday next week for the start of Season 3. Still got a little bit more to go in this season though. 4 more rounds after this one. This is going to give George 26 points from this race, coupled with the fact that Lewis is not scoring in this means the gap is going to go from 2 points to 28 points. That is a huge margin. Perez now 4.5 seconds off the back of us. Yeah, George can just bring it home now. We've broken Perez's spirit. How are those fingernails, Farah? Are they just slightly nibbled, or are they, completely obliterated? Next up is Hulkenberg. Not that many cars lapped. Alonso has pretty much broken Verstappen now, I think. Leclerc is actually closing the gap on Gasly. He's got it down to 3 seconds. He's lapping 0.7 of a second faster at the moment. He's more than that if he's going to catch Gasly. Oh, yellow flag. Just a run wide for Joe.
Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. Oh,
No,
but they
sorry,
need to
just
be
a
watching
run
those
wide
track
is just
limits.
driving
Well,
in a
hopefully
straight
not
line.
a sign of things to come.
There's a corner there. I'm just going to go straight through it. Schumacher now under pressure from Norris, so it looks like he's going to drop even further down, unfortunately. In fact, is that Schumacher and Norris behind us? Or... No, it's Hulkenberg and Piastri, wasn't it? Yeah, Schumacher's just crossing the line now. Forgot Schumacher's not driving a Haas. Force of habit from last year's game.
Lap remaining.
2 laps remaining.
Yeah, going.
You're confident he's going to win, are you, Barrett? Well, let's face it, it's not like Perez is going to put up much of a fight. I mean, he's having a little charge right now, thrashing those tyres. So he's too far behind to catch. And we've got plenty of tyre and fuel and battery in reserve. I think Leclerc's tyres might be giving up too much now. He only closed by 0.3 on the last lap. I don't think it's going to catch Gasly. That's pretty much it. There's no other battles really, apart from this one here, which is for nothing. I mean, it's a 3-way fight for 11th place, which doesn't really mean that much. No points on offer. Right, final lap for George. That's my Russell vision. Norris has fallen victim to Tsunoda, but Tsunoda is out of DRS range at the moment. They've still got one more lap to go. We're not going to catch and lap them in time. That's them just disappearing around the corner in front of us. So it's not over yet between Schumacher and Tsunoda. I think Norris is out of it now. He's already dropped to nearly 2 seconds behind. As George comes out of the final corner, up to the line, and wins with a big whoop.
Russell wins it! First over the line. And coming in first, it's George Russell.
You can't say they didn't earn it. They put in an amazing performance today.
That's a whoop you're okay with. Yeah, I did I did wonder if you'd be happy with that one, seeing as you hate the other little whoop. In the end, 5 seconds clear of Perez, who tried to push with a couple of laps to go, but had to back off again. Comfortable victory for George in the end. He definitely made the right call switching up his strategy on that VSC, I think. Pity for Hamilton. Just not having any spare front wings. Meant we couldn't put him back into the fight. There wasn't really much point him pushing his car like crazy to maybe get a point at the end of the Grand Prix, because he would have been so slow with half a front wing missing. So with that long left in the race, it made sense to retire him and save the wear and tear on the car. However, if it had been with like 10 laps to go, yeah, we'd absolutely kept him out and just seen what we could have, maximised for him. But yeah, there was like nearly 30 laps to go, I think, when he retired. So made sense to just box the car and bring it in. So that's going to put George 28 points clear of Lewis after this weekend, with Mexico up next. That was a normal race weekend, so a maximum of 26 points available on offer there. So even if George DNFs, Lewis wins and gets the fastest lap, he'll still be 2 points behind going into Brazil.
Have to say, George Russell looked excellent out there.
It was a truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team and driver.
It's hugs all round for the team. In fact, they all deserve a pat on the back as well for everything that they've achieved. And up he goes, George Russell joining the podium lineup after a memorable Grand Prix.
And that victory takes them into double figures for the year. An incredible 10th win of the season.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your podium for the United States Grand Prix.
10 wins. It's his title to lose this year.
And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
They'll be absolutely delighted to have picked up the win here. What a great outcome that is for the team.
And with that, our time in Texas now draws to a close.
We're nearing the end of the season and it's time for some serious heat. Stay with us as Formula One moves to Mexico City.
So then, confirmation of the final result. George takes the win and the fastest lap ahead of Sergio Perez. And Fernando Alonso rounding out the podium. Max gaining 8 places. Good recovery drive from him. It was just a little bit short in the end of getting on the podium. But a fantastic recovery drive for him nonetheless. Good race for Gasly. He looked threatening in the sprints and gained 2 places in the main race. He was 7th up to 5th. That's some good solid points for him. Another disappointing weekend for Ferrari. Leclerc dropping 2 places down from 4th to 6th. He gets 8 points and no sights. Again, another disappointing weekend for Carlos. I think Ferrari are definitely going to be another contender for us to maybe move to next season. Lance drops a place down to 7th, but it's still decent points for him, and combined with Fernando's points, that's a hefty collection of points for Aston Martin this weekend. Ocon up 5 places to 8th place. More points for him, more points for Alpine. Good drive from Albon as well, up 9 places to get 2 points. And Magnussen gets a point, a long awaited point for Haas. It's been a while since they last got onto the scoreboard. Let's take a look a little bit further down. You see Schumacher with a great recovery drive as well, gaining 8 places, but just unfortunately didn't quite have the legs to challenge Kevin for that final point. Yuki up 4 places, Lando dropping 5 places, disappointing for him. Hülkenberg up 3, Piastri down 4. McLaren, really are in the mud at the moment. And, well, there you are. Despite starting last, gaining 3 places, that's only because we had 3 retirements. So, yeah, disappointing again for Alfa Romeo. Still yet to score any points this season. And then Lewis, Carlos and Ricciardo are 3 retirements. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship. So they see a 28-point lead now for George Russell with 4 rounds to go. He's got 10 race wins now this season, 15 podiums in total, 2 sprint wins, 4 poles, 8 fastest laps, only 1 DNF. He's had a very, very strong season. Lewis, 5 wins, 16 podiums, but 3 DNFs, 8 fastest laps, 9 pole positions and 3 sprint wins. There is another sprint coming up. Lewis definitely has had the edge in sprints this year. Let's see if he can work his magic at Brazil. We've got to go to Mexico first though. Max in third gets another 12 points, but he's coming under pressure from Checo. Checo scored 24 points this weekend and is now just 20 points off his teammate. Could Max be outscored by a teammate for the first time? That would be pretty incredible. Well, first time as the senior Red Bull driver anyway. Leclerc gets 13 points. He jumps back ahead of Lance Stroll by just 2 points. Some good solid points for Fernando. Moves him comfortably clear of Ocon now. Gasly gets above Sainz, who drops out of the top 10 and still has not reached triple digits. After 19 rounds, he still hasn't made triple digits. That's just insane. What can you say? Dropping further down, the only other change is Mick Schumacher does climb above Bottas on position countback, thanks to his 11th place there. And Alex Albon, with his 3 points, jumps above Zhou, who actually did score 4 points. So it's AlphaTauri who have yet to score any points, not Alfa Romeo. My apologies to Alfa Romeo. So let's take a look at the constructors. There you see 41 points for Mercedes, 36 for Red Bull, 28 for Aston Martin. That stretches their lead over Ferrari. They are now 46 points clear of the Italians. That's quite a big hefty margin with just 4 races left. I think Ferrari are going to finish 4th. And Alpine, well, they score 3 more points than Ferrari, but unless Ferrari have a complete meltdown, which admittedly they've had a few semi-meltdowns, but they haven't gone complete meltdown yet, I think they should hold off Alpine. Williams do get another 3 points. Haas get their first point in a long while, gets them up to 20. And then you see Alfa Romeo with their 4 points. AlphaTauri still yet to score. Let's take a look at the pit stop competition. Now you see Lewis's stop only fast enough for 3rd. Red Bull have been working on their pit crew, and Max pulls out a 1.93 on his pit stop. That is quick. That's very quick. We only beat that by 7,000ths of a second with George there. Mercedes have 3rd and 1st. McLaren are up there again with Piastri, but no sign of Norris. Ferrari are up there with both of their drivers in 5th and 7th. There's Perez in 6th, so some more good points for Red Bull. AlphaTauri do pick up 4 points. Aston Martin with 2, Alfa Romeo with 1. So the standings look like that. We have already pretty much won this competition. Red Bull are pretty much guaranteed 2nd. It's still close between Ferrari and McLaren for 3rd place. McLaren definitely have the edge at the moment, but who knows? There's still plenty of points available. That is definitely going to be a fight that goes down to the final race of the season, I think. Alpine locked in 5th. They're not going to catch Ferrari. They're not going to get caught by Aston Martin. And then it's pretty much as you were further down as well. Williams and Haas haven't gone on the scoreboard all season. I don't think they're likely to either. So I think we're looking at the run order apart from this fight here between McLaren and Ferrari. And there is a run of the pit stops. So we had the fastest stop there, 3rd fastest stop there, 4th fastest stop there with George, and the 5th fastest stop with Lewis. So that's not bad. We had some very, very quick stops there. But we also had that pit stop mistake where the car was released early. And that's the first time I've seen that one. It's usually a sticky wheel nut. So not the greatest of stops there or there, but you know, pretty consistent otherwise. Let's take a look at the driver stats. 15 overtakes, 13 failed. 22 successful offences, 11 failed. That's over both the race and the sprint. Lewis, 14 overtakes, 23 failed, 15 defences and 16 failed. Those are good numbers considering he didn't run for about 30 laps of the Grand Prix. So not bad. Not bad at all. And no experience for Teo from this weekend because it was a sprint. We weren't going to run him. He will be back in the car tomorrow night at Mexico. So let's take a look at driver bonuses. We paid 25k to George for his win. And there you can see we did not get the finish position, but it was an incentive, not a guarantee. So we don't lose money from the sponsors. We just don't earn any in that respect. And we've achieved all of our guarantees. So we end up with another 5.3 mil going into the coffers. So, how bad is the car? We'll find out in a second. Once again, a warning about the cost cap. 1 second. Throat's a little dry there. Right. Let's see how bad the damage is. Oh, we've lost an underfloor. We've lost 2 underfloors and a suspension, and we destroyed a front wing. We're going to have to really cobble together our cars here. Let's see. How many underfloors do we have? Might have enough. No, we don't. Okay, so George gets the better underfloor. Oops, done that the wrong way around. There we go. So George gets the better underfloor. Lewis gets an already used secondary underfloor. That's only going to last one more race, I think, before that needs to be replaced. It's at 36%. In terms of front wings, we've got to drop back to this spec here, which isn't great. So you can see what he's giving up there in terms of downforce and brake cooling. What else needs to be replaced on George's car? The suspension. And we do still have a spare suspension. Okay, so yeah, Lewis is running some older spec parts there. An older spec underfloor, which is only going to last one more race, I think. And an older spec front wing. Let's take a quick look at the warehouse, see what we've got. So we've got spare chassis, they're fine. Front wings, yeah, not a lot of options really with the front wings. Rear wings, we're going to have to drop to that spec soon, because these aren't going to last too much longer. Side pods, I've got 1 spare side pod. That will go to Lewis, because he's had to take older stock on the other parts, so that'll be the one that George takes. We've already looked at the underfloors. Yeah, pretty soon they're both going to be back on the original spec underfloor, which, as you can see, is quite a drop in performance. And then suspensions, we've got a spare suspension, and then we've got one of the previous one, and then 2 of the one before that, and 4 of the one before that. So we've got some spare parts available, just in varying degrees of quality. Let's see what happened to Lewis's powertrain. 73%, it's okay, that's alright. ERS units is fine, and gearbox is okay. So yeah, we didn't really lose much in terms of powertrain damage from that collision. I didn't think we would, but it was better to check just to be on the safe side. We got 4 days until the next Grand Prix. Let's take a look at some facilities. I am going to go ahead and refurbish that facility. And the suspension simulator is going to need a refurb soon as well. Team hub is fine. Race simulator is fine. Operationally, memorabilia room has taken a bit of a knock. It's okay. We'll hold off on that for now. Weather center will need to be either refurbed or upgraded soon. Probably just do a refurb on it. Let's check in with the boards. Still disappointed with finances, as you can see. We got fined again last month for another cost cap break. That'll happen again every month now. So that'll happen again at the end of October and the end of November and the end of December. So that's another 6.3 million we're going to get fined across the rest of the season. Objective-wise, they were happy with Austin as opposed to delighted because only one car finished, but we did get the win, and we got the 1-2 in the sprint as well. So the board still have high confidence in us. We're still on target with the season objective this year to finish second or above. We're in first, and we are on course to complete this objective. We have already mathematically won the Constructors' Championship, so just got to wait for the official confirmation later in the season on that. Right. Let's see. Is George... Yeah, he is renewing his contract. That's why there's a red dot next to him. Let's show you the changes to the mug... Oh, I know what I wanted to check while we're looking at finances. Yeah, there we go. You can see the cost cap is now showing as it should do, i.e. nothing left, as opposed to 100 and something million. So that has been fixed. That's good to see. Let's show you the mugshots for the updated driver mugshots for this season. So some of them are good, some of them are not. So this is Max. I don't think that's been changed. I think that's still the same one as last year. Lando's is new, and it looks like he's been punched in the face. It looks like he's got a black eye. It also looks very weird from a distance. It looks like his eyes are all wonky when you look at the small image. I think that's still the same image for Charles Leclerc. I don't know if that's been updated or not. Perez, as you can see, has been updated with a different haircut to the previous one. Lewis, as I said, looks like it's a darker skin tone this time round, so I don't know if it's a new photo or just a touch-up of the previous one. Not sure. George, I think that's the same photo. Gasly is a new photo, you can see with his new hairdo there. Sainz, I think that's last year's Sainz photo as well. I don't think that's been changed. There's the new Fernando shot with much nicer looking hair compared to the horrible hair that he had in the last game. Bottas with his stash and mullet. He is showing his redneck phase loud and proud there. Ocon, I think that might be last year's headshot for Ocon, not sure. Stroll has been updated a little bit. His hair's looking a little bit shorter in that headshot. Tsunoda's got a new headshot, as you can see. There is Alex Albon. And every time I see this headshot, it makes me chuckle when I see it from a short distance, because if we look at the small one, it looks like he's got a bald patch. You just see these two bright chunks of yellow hair at the sides, and then it just looks like he's got a bald patch in the middle when you see the short photos. Only when you actually see it up close you can see it's actually hair. It just always makes me chuckle. Zhou has a new haircut as well, so he's got an updated photo. Kevin Magnussen has, I think, an updated photo. I think that's updated. A new photo for Oscar. Teo has not been updated because he is still in the lower formula, so he's not been given an updated headshot. None of the lower drivers have. Schumacher has not been updated. That's still last year's headshot. As with Giovinazzi, that's still last year's headshot too. New headshot for Ricciardo. Felipe again, last year's. Bashir is last year. Lawson is last year. Hulkenberg. Everyone looks like they've been punched in the eye. It's just very weirdly lit on some of these photos. You know, he looks like he's got a black eye. So does obviously Lando, and to a degree, so does Alex. When you look at the small picture, his eye looks a little bit off on his left eye. Who else has got a new headshot? Nick De Vries. I'm not sure. I think that's a new shot for Nick De Vries. Let's see. Anyone else? Oh, this is Logan. So that's Logan's updated headshot, which looks a lot better than this last one. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. As I say, all these other drivers, they're still running on their original headshots. They're all as they were before, no changes. So there is one I want to check actually. Yeah, Hunter Yerney, that's definitely a very old headshot. Right. I don't think there's anything else to show you. We still don't have a headshot for Jonathan Wheatley, which is a little frustrating. There are still some staff that don't actually have a headshot at all, which, yeah, a little annoying. Right, let's advance time. Another cost cap warning. Yeah, can't do anything about that. And there we go. We are ready for Mexico, which is tomorrow night's race. So that's it from me for tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. If you have, please consider dropping a like. And if you're new, you can always drop yourself a subscription as well. That way you'll know when I go live. I go live every night around about 9 o'clock in the UK. Although we will be bringing that forward next week to 8 o'clock UK time from next Monday onwards. So make sure you remember that, or ring the bell so that you get an instant notification when I go live. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.